welcome to another episode, and this is part 2 of our interview with Zoltan Kemeney regarding the emissions fraud, if you will, from Volkswagen, where they purposely rigged 475,000 diesel vehicles here in the United States in order to cheat the emission controls as provided by the United States regulations, correct?
Yes, sir.
And what we were saying on part 1 is that you had a product that you took over to Germany, to the people in Volkswagen, and you showed them that with this product, they could avoid what we now know. They have a $14.7 billion settlement. They could have avoided all this trouble had they only put this product into their vehicles. They could have solved the problem, avoid all sorts of litigation, et cetera, but they didn't. In part 1, we saw that you actually, with your own money, took your product, put it into a car that, after your negotiations with VW, they said, well, you go back to the United States, put it into this car, and send us the results, and then we'll talk about you. In fact, they promised that if the results were positive, that they would buy your product. Correct? And so not only did you pass the emissions, you found that something was fishy, because you not only took the car to just a regular emission controls place, but you also took it down to Tucson, to the University of Tucson, if you will, where they perform a test that is a lot more elaborate, much more expensive, a $10,000 test, in which, in fact, we saw on episode on the part 1 that after right here, after you put the your product, the levels of toxicity that came out of the tailpipe
was reduced 98%.
Was reduced 98%.
Close to 100%.
Correct. Yes. And so let's pick up from there. Why is it that you weren't able to tell this story before?
Because if I want to sell my patent for them, which is a physical solution, it's not a software bypass, then I cannot tell them that you are, I think I caught you cheating, okay? then they would not buy it, obviously.
But you did
catch I did.
You caught him cheating.
But I had the dilemma that now, how can I tell them that something is wrong, what you are doing? Obviously, I can prove it, and I fixed it physically for you. You can avoid all these expenses, and then just, I didn't even know about this scandal or what they planned to do, and then just simply be happy with it. Now, when I showed up there,
let me ask you this question. Did you know, or did you have a suspicion that they knew that this system was rigged? So in other words, you found something that is wrong in their emission. At that point, did you suspect that they had rigged those cars, or that maybe there was something wrong that they didn't know about? That you could have told them, hey, you need to fix this because this is wrong.
I suspected, but I did not want to raise the attention, because I alienate them as a licensee, right? Then they would kick me out right off the bat.
Okay, so you were afraid that they would not buy your product.
Whatever, and then for that reason, I said, no, I will just simply show that before this was the gas content with gas chromatography, not emission station, and I proved after that I reduced 98%, and let's forget about the emission station.
You have your proof, you go back to Germany.
That's right.
What happens then?
And then simply, they said, that's very interesting now. You have physical tests, you can do so many things over there. It's very difficult. Why don't you send a car and then we will evaluate? I said, sir, did you
send a car?
Yeah. Did you see that movie about the guy who invented the Viper and then Ford asked him the same thing?
Absolutely.
Sure, we know. So why do you ask me to send it?
They actually stole the technology for the windshield wiper. That's exactly what they did.
Then I said, why don't you send your engineers? It's in a place where only German engineers are working, technicians, all certified for your particular vehicles, and then send them and check out everything. Well, but you know what? It's easy to cheat because you just put a tiny shimming over the valve head, and then you have to dismantle the whole thing to prove it.
So they give you all these excuses.
But he said, you know what? Now you proved it physically. We need to see it by simulation. Why don't you send us your simulation work? I said, I did. Well, but that was Vissim. It's a different software. We don't work with that. What are you working with? Well, we work Power, GT Power from Gamma Technologies. But okay, so I said I will buy it, and I use that one. Well, sir, you know what? That is $10,000, and then it takes 2 years to learn the software. So I did.
Let's cut right to the chase.
Right.
So what happened?
They
after,
fooled me. They gave me circles.
They just gave you the
go around circles.
The run around and everything
run
else,
around,
and they never did anything.
Say yes, never say no.
And in the meantime, all these things, somebody knows that they're cheating, and this whole thing explodes.
Well, it didn't surprise me after when I saw that this is one. So that's how you did. I didn't know how they did it, but yeah, if you bypass with the software and in the emission station, you don't measure what it's really.
But you discovered that they were cheating way before even the government suspected that they were cheating.
Yes.
So the story is now that they could have avoided all this problem had they bought your product, and you proved to them that you could have solved the problem. Now, are they in touch with you now, you said?
Well, one engineer from Audi is the R&D arm of Volkswagen.
Yes.
He said that we will build your engine and we'll test, put on the dyno, and then we are working on it. That was in March, the last time. And then nothing is happening. But that's what they told me in December and January. So
and it is
I doubt they do anything.
It is interesting because and there's I think 45,000 Audis that I think that are affected, by the way, out of the 475,000. 30,000 or 47,000 of the Audis anyway. But the situation is that they are arrogant in not being able to do the right thing. Still, even after this, after this discovery, etc., etc. So, here, this is kind of an exclusive for us here on Entrepreneurs in Fuego, that we have actually brought the man who discovered that VW was cheating way back when, even before anybody else knew it.
Years before.
Years before, and here's the proof.
Yes, sir.
We will continue, my friend. We will continue with this journey. We will continue. I know you have 260 patents and counting, and you come here every once and so often and give us all this intriguing information. We will be following up very closely.
Very good.
Zoltan, my friend. Don't go anywhere. Wait a minute. With that, we're out.
Welcome to the remix. Prestige.